I've stuck to the argument that commandments were not commandments, they were principles. But principles, by which I mean, are rather more flexible, that they bow to some value system of precedence and ordering, so that you know when, for instance, freedom of speech is going too far and we can't have hate speech because of what? Well, because that causes violence or leads to violence, and that's clearly a problem, a badness. We must do something about that. Do you see it's a question of values? They may be implied by the words used in giving the principles. Thou shalt not kill suggests, concern that killing is a problem, pain and suffering, and we don't want that. But on the other hand, we're likely to also hold some sort of backup qualification, like it's okay to kill in wars, or it's okay to kill to protect the innocent, or it's okay to use violence at least if the state does it because of some pursuit of peace, harmony and civilization being at stake, So what's really ruling is a particular set of values. But of course, it's not that simple. Values can be of an amazing variety of complexity of preferences and so forth, and it would be hard to have a language that reliably indicated what your values system actually is. You'd probably take an awful lot of thinking and analysis and wondering whether I mean this or whether I mean that. So I've stepped back from this and said, no, what we're doing is you're worshipping your God, personification of what you assume or take to be your values at some particular stage in this development process, because the value system that you have is itself influenced by many things and therefore changing through time. So what I would have done with my value system on a particular issue 10 years ago might be different to what I would suggest doing in 10 years' time, and so forth. Our values then are related to our situational perception, and the values that we have come to hold at any particular time are some ongoing process, in some process of change, always. And I've come to the rescue, so to speak, by saying, well, one of our values is likely to be, if we personify our values, is that this personified person, this person is concerned to rescue us from the things that we don't understand and don't know. And we're going to trust him that he's going to lead our development of values accordingly, because he's the master of the show and can call the experiences that we have and their effect on our values, and therefore our view of him. So he can lead us to have values that picture him appropriately. And we trust him because we're assuming, we're taking the stance that he's an all-loving God as well as, if you like, all-powerful. And that's more important than some freedom we might have to the contrary. And we're asserting this as our ideal, what we truly value, and that he is consistent with that. And therefore we are assured in trusting him accordingly. And therefore our values start to adjust according to this chosen belief. And my argument is, if we choose anything other than this, we're likely to feel extremely uneasy about the future and quite unhappy. I mean, an unhappiness that is in some sense warranted, in that life becomes a fearful battle of forces that are definitely beyond our control, and we can't do anything about, or we're not sure what we can do about, and the stress and the problems that result. And the person who prides himself as being a realist says, yeah, well, perhaps that's the reality. And to which one says, well, let's see. You're, I gather, maintaining there's no God and living accordingly. I'm maintaining there is a God, and in particular this sort of God that's mine, not the same as the man next door or even my fellow religious member or whatever I belong to, you know. But I am maintaining that doing this is going to be better. Choose you this day what you will do. And you come back and talk to him 3 years later and you say, how's things going? And he gives you a long catalogue of difficulties that he's been coping with and how life is now, and it's slightly better than it was yesterday, but not as good as it was last week perhaps, and it was a disappointment and so on. And he asks you how things are going, and you say, well, it's good. No, it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm quite happy. Things so and so. Well, yes, I did lose my mother and so thing, and it was a stressful time because she was in pain and so on. Oh, right, yeah, okay. And how are you now? Oh, well, I'm okay, of course, I'm fine, yeah. Things are, I'm happy, and yes. Do you need to change your belief in God? No. Thank God he was there in my mind when I was trying to cope with Mother's illness. How did you get on when you were coping with Mother's illness? Well, I blocked on it, or I despaired, or I didn't mind because I didn't like Mother. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of that one. Okay, on reflection then. Would you be happy taking my view of God as opposed to your view of no God? Oh, no, I don't think so. Would you like to give it a try? Oh, I don't think it's worth it. Okay. And how about you? Would you like to, his reply, how would you like to take my view of not believing in God? Oh, goodness, no, it doesn't look too good. I don't think I'll follow that. So there we have it. Those who have ears to hear, let them hear. And those that don't, well, okay, I can understand that. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.